Hi, and welcome back to Craft Along with Jay. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Sierra, and I am so happy you could join me today. Can you believe it? It's February 1st, and this means that it's time for the first of the month collaboration, which is hosted by Gwen over at Home with Gigi and Brenda over at Rustic and Lace DIY. Links to their channels will be down in my description box, along with the link to the playlist. So make sure you check everybody out and show them all some love. All right, I have four spring DIYs and I'm using Dollar Tree peel and stick for each of them. So this one I thrifted for, well, the original price was $5, but it was in the $1 bin, so I actually got it for $1. Can you believe it? It is, I love this piece. I cleaned it up, wiped it down, washed it off, and I'm going to give it two coats of waveless chalk paint in plaster. And then for the um, glass panel, um, I didn't want to paint over um, the front side of it because I may use that for Christmas. I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to use the back side. That way I have some options of what I want to do with it. And I'm going to use this beautiful peel and stick. Um, it looks like cherry blossoms, but they're white instead. They're probably not cherry blossoms, but that's what it looked like to me. And I just love this one. So that's what I decided because I thought that would be such a nice picture when you look out the window and this is what you see. Um, Spring-like, but it's also kind of muted color, so it's kind of calm. So I thought this would be perfect. And yeah, I was struggling quite a bit here to adhere it straight because if I just drop one side, it would stick right away. But it was easily fixed. I could pull it up and put it back down, and it didn't do anything to the adhesion. I could still get it down and it stayed in place. So once I finally got it down, I'm just going to slowly take the backing off and then I'm just going to press it down as I go up to the top part. And also what I forgot to mention with the wood part of the window pane, once I painted it, I also went around the edges all the way around, but also in between and distressed them with sanding block. I'm not sure if I show that here or not, but just in case I don't show it, I'm just letting you know, just to distress it a little bit so it's not too perfect. And I liked the little bit of distressing that shows. And here the excess paper, I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and go around the edge and cut that piece off. And then I have this little grapevine wreath from Hobby Lobby, and I just added some purple gingham ribbon to the top, and then I had some lavender and some other purple flowers, and I'm just playing around with it here. So we're gonna spruce up this wreath, give it a nice pop of purple. I thought that went really well with the background in the window. And I'm just playing around with different flowers and fillers and things like that. Just kind of played around with it and till my eyes were happy and then I start gluing it in. And you can do any color that you want or any kind of peel and stick that you want. This is kind of what I went with and I like the end results. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So stick around and you'll see it. So yeah, I'm still adding some fillers to the back. I do end up adding a little bit of leaves too. I'm trying to see how far I was going to go up, but I decided not to go up that far, just worry about the bottom part. I didn't want to overdo it. So yeah, I'm just adding some little not flowers, leaves, just to give it a little bit of greenery. And I just added them wherever I find that that would fit well and it would look nice. And then I also ended up using some of the, I'm not sure if they're berries, what what they're supposed to be, but they're purple. Could be, maybe they're supposed to be something for Easter, like Easter eggs, but they're round. So I'm not quite sure, but I like them, and I added some of those in there as well. So I have different dimensions of purple in there. And I thought that kind of, made it a little interesting. And I'm just gluing some in there. And I think that's it. Yep. Then I'm gonna add it to my window. So I'm working on the placement, how far I want it to go, and then I'm gonna glue it, give it a dot of glue to the back, and press the ribbon in, and then I also gave it a dot of glue on top of the window pane and press the ribbon down so that way it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay in place on the window pane, but I'm not going to glue it any further down, um, you know, because I want it to make it realistic looking. It's not going to be glued down tight everywhere. When you look in the window and you have a wreath hanging or something, it's not going to be stuck to the window either. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. But then I had to find something for the windowsill. So I had some of these white lavenders. I don't know what I call lavenders, but they're white. They came off of a lavender pick. And I just took three of them. And then I took some white twine here, or ivory colored twine. And I'm just going to wrap that around those three pieces. Add a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place. And then I keep wrapping till the other end is all the way tight, and then I add some more glue. Then I had this little plastic cup from the Dollar Tree from the party section, and I had these little bowl fillers, and I'm using I picked out the white ones, and I'm adding that into the cup. And then I added my bundle of flowers in there, and it'll be sitting right down my window pane like that. And here it is. It was very easy to do, and I think it was quite a transformation. And then just this piece, it's just $1. Can you believe it? And they had two, so I got both of them. So that was a saving of $8. I was tickled pink. Pink. But here it is. Let me know what you think about this one. It definitely screams spring, doesn't it? So let's move on to project number 2. I got this little frame. It has a cluster of butterflies on the top. Nikki showed me that she had gotten them, and I right away went over to Dollar Tree because I had not seen them, and I was so lucky that I found some, and I bought like several of them. There's so many different things you can do with them. So, but I wanted to use this first one for this spring project, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it just one coat of, I think it's Waverly Chalk paint in ivory. And I'm just showing you because it's bright white, the frame, and I'm just gonna age it up a little bit so it looks a little bit more vintage looking with the ivory. I don't know if you can see the difference in color here, but that's kind of what I was trying to show. And I go around the whole thing, and I even paint the butterflies as well, because at this point I hadn't quite figured out what I was going to do with them. So I just went ahead and covered the whole thing with ivory. And then make sure you get those little tabs in the back pushed inward so you're not accidentally painting them. Then I chose this beautiful peel and stick with flowers and butterflies on it. And I'm going to trace out a piece that's going to fit into a frame. And here I keep looking back because I really wanted a butterfly. I wanted the flowers, but also a butterfly in there. So I wanted to make sure when I traced it, I had a butterfly. What I did not do here, and I should have done, but it worked out fine at the end, is give it a little extra towards that side of the butterfly just because the edge of the frame is going to cover it a little bit. But we'll fix that. But just if you were to recreate this, then make sure you have a little extra space where the butterfly is so the frame doesn't cover it up. So here I'm just attaching it to the backing of the frame. And I was trying so hard to get it straight and even, and then I got to totally move it anyway. And you can see how part of the butterfly is cut off, and I didn't like that. So we're gonna fix that here. And I just gotta move it over some more so that way we can see it. Yeah, here I'm testing it before I start cutting or anything like that. So here it just looks like he's kind of sitting off to the side of the frame. And it looks really nice. So I was happy with that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess paper. Then I went in and I started painting some of the butterflies with glacier. I think that's folk art. It's an acrylic paint, I know that. And I think I do three of them with this color. And you can see the butterflies erased, so you want to make sure you get down on the sides as well. And also there are some ridges inside the butterflies. You want to make sure you get into that too. Otherwise, it's not going to look evenly coated. So, but here you can kind of see the sides. So that's some dimensions to these butterflies. And then I also used a lavender paint, a purple, but I thought that purple was quite too dark to go with the rest of this. So I did paint over it with, I believe it's French lilac instead. And then here I'm going in with the ivory and I'm going to dry brush over the butterflies just to highlight the details of them. Um, I thought I had done a close-up of that, but maybe I did not. But anyway, so I'm gonna go over here and dry brush them. Oh, there we go. Here we go. So here you can see kind of the details and when you dry brush over them and highlight things. And it looks really nice. And you can see the purple is a little bit of a different color here. It kind of goes better with the glacier and also with the peel and stick. Sometimes you just got to play around with it too, till you're happy with what you got going on and how it kind of flows with everything else that you're putting into your project. So this is kind of what made me happy for this project. And then I'm putting my backing back in, and then I added this little window cling. It's a bunny to the front of the glass. Let me know if I should leave it on. Um, Here, I took it off. So let me know the difference if I should put it back on or not. I couldn't quite decide because I do think the peel and stick is like perfect on its own as well. So let me know what you think about this one as well. So let's move on to project number 3. So I got this block wood block bunny from the Dollar Tree. And I also got this peel and stick, which I think is beautiful. I love this one. It has some flowers on it, butterflies, and it's all different shades of blue on a white background. And I wanted to cover my bunny with that. So yeah, I'm just lining it up in the back. And I'm not going to trace all the way in just because I'm afraid I'm not going to get it straight. So when I put the backing on it, it's not going to fit right. So I'm just going around and then I'll cut that big piece off. It's too big, which is good. And then I'll put that onto my bunny and then I'll cut from there, if that makes sense. You'll see. So I do have a little trouble getting them separated from the backings here. They're on really well. So here we go. But the good thing is if you don't get it down right the first time, you can easily peel it off and reposition it. So that's really nice with these things, which, I had to do several times. I think on each project I had to do it. So it definitely paid off for me. So there we go. Yep, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll start pulling off the back as I'm pressing it down on the front. Then I go back with my X-Acto knife, and that's when I cut all the way in along the sides of the outline of the bunny. And that way, you have a nice cut to it. There may be some slight pieces overhanging, and I'm just going to go in with my sanding block and I'll sand that down. So that's what that looks like. And then I just added a little burlap bow and a little wood cutout that says hello. All of that is from the Dollar Tree as well. And then I decided I liked kind of the wood sides of the bunny, and I could have left it like that because it would have gone really well with the burlap bow. But for some reason, I decided just to go in and cover that with um, Waverly's chalk paint, oh my lordy, paint in plaster and cover that up. And that looks nice too. Um, I'm not sure which one I like best, but I think either one would have been just fine. So nice, quick, and simple, and I think it's absolutely adorable. So let me know what you think about this one as well. Hang in tight, we got one more project, and that's going to be an easy one as well. Actually, they all are. They're very easy to make. And they have so many different choices of the pick and steel as peel from the Dollar Tree, and I just went with all these nice spring color ones. So I'm going to use this bamboo cutting board, the large side, and then I had some of this greenery peel and stick from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to use, and I'm just putting it down on top just to figure out what part of it that I want. Um, and then once I know that, I start peeling it back from where I want to start. And I'll do the same thing as the other ones. I'll pull it up a little bit, fold it, and then lay it down, and then I'll slowly pull it up from the back as I'm pushing in the front to lay it down. And I got to reposition this because I didn't get it right the first time. Did I? Yeah. Ah, I guess for the most part I got it right. Hey, fourth time's the charm, right? So here we go, and I just flipped it over, and then I'm gonna pull the backing off, and then I press it down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just cross all the way straight across. I may not go all the way, I may cut along the side here, so I still have a strip in case I want to use that for something. And again, I'm using my X-Acto knife, and I'm gonna go around the edges. Make sure you put something under when you use your X-Acto knife because it will cut through the silicone mats. So I just use one of these other little mats from the Dollar Tree, and that seems to work just fine. And then here I'm sanding around the edges because that was a little tiny bit of overhang that I wasn't happy with. So we're just gonna sand that off real quick. Then I got some letters here, wood letters. I think these are the 1-inch ones. And I painted one in French violet and the other one in French lilac. One is a smidge darker than the other one. So I painted one in each color and I laid it down on the cutting board to see which one would look better with the background. So I decided to go with the French lilac, which is the darker one. And that's this one. Then I'm going to go ahead and paint them all. And I'll let them dry for a little while. And then I have them glued down here. It says spring is near. And I'm adding some of these burlap flowers from the Dollar Tree. And I chose the white ones. And I put, one on each side in the middle. Just add some hot glue to the back and then press them down. And then I'm going to go around the edge of the cutting board with this nautical rope. I took the tape off the end of it, and I'm just going to put some hot glue in between and twist it back so it holds its shape. And what I did at first was I was just going to do the side, the top, and the side and not add anything to the bottom because I want it to be a shelf sitter. But I didn't look like how that looked, so I do end up going all the way around. I can't remember how much of that I'm showing you, but I'm just letting you know that. So that's kind of why I'm starting on the side. Normally I would start at the bottom in the middle. So I did a little bit different, but I decided just to go all the way around. And then I went in with some of these little paper flowers in each corner. And I'm not sure I really like these. I'll show you in the final view that I changed them out with some purple ones. So just kind of let me know which one are better, the white flowers or the purple flowers. But here it is with the white flowers. It's still super cute, and I added some tumbling tile blocks to the back to help it stand. So, and here we go. You see how the purple ones are there? So, yeah, let me know which one are better, the purple or the white ones. So let's take a final look at all four projects that we made today. So not super bright colors, kind of on the muted side, but I think it's a kind of a nice start to get into spring. I love them. Kind of the blues, the purples, kind of the greens and stuff. So let me know what you think about them. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hype my video. And don't forget to check out the playlist. Thank you so much. Until next time.